Hey guys, today is August 13th, 2022. So, I recently been talking about the buck moon and the sturgeon moon because we just had a sturgeon moon and I thought there might be an event that took place. And I will talk about some recent events that did happen. But I also think it's plays an important connection with IPEC Goat 2 in the year 2023. So this scene right here has been talked about before. It could be related to the buck moon because this right here, you can clearly see the buck over top of what could be a full moon. But I'm the one who started talking about how this could be related to the sturgeon moon, how it's got a fish-like body, the tail similar to the sturgeon, and the shark-like fin right here. I also talked about this scene, and especially I believe that this could be related to Jeffrey Epstein being hanged, or so they say. But and this being related to a missile, obviously this is multi-layered. It's also male genitalia. But I noticed that 3 months and one day, you see the three right here and the two ones. Um, but 3 months and one day after Jeffrey Epstein was hanged, we had an emergency being declared in Australia, as I mentioned before, related to the bushfires, which destroyed 150 homes or more, and George Bush and fire. So obviously, that's the connection. There could be more than one connection and meaning behind all this, but and I thought since August 11th, the Sturgeon moon was 3 years and one day after Jeffrey Epstein was hung, we'd see some big event or noticeable event. We did have something happen and around those dates. I'll get into that in a minute. But I also want to point out is this is multi-layered relating to multiple events. We did have a missile strike assassination on Soleimani, the Iranian general, and look what the date was. January 3rd, 2020. The 1 and the 3. The 1 and the 3, as I mentioned. We did have a Hawaii false missile alert, and look what the date was. 113, January 13th. 113. So, this related to three things already that I'm aware of. The Soleimani missile attack, the Hawaii false missile alert, and the bushfires by connecting Epstein's death and the number 3 and 1. There might have been some other events that already happened, maybe. And I don't know what the shark is, but I did find some interesting connections to Jeffrey Epstein's death, the number 1 and 3, and shark attacks, and a crescent moon. Um, I found three of them, but I'm not going to get into that. But, anyways, I want to talk about something that did happen on August 11th. Is the Ukraine nuclear power plant was shelled. It doesn't say how. It doesn't say if it was by a missile. All I know is there was explosions. It was bombed, and it says more shelling of Ukraine's. I don't even know how to say that word. Nuclear power plant has been reported with Ukraine and Russia again blaming each other for the attack. So that's interesting. Each side said there were 10 hits on the office and the fire stations of Europe's biggest power plant on Thursday. However, this wasn't the first attack. The first one happened on August 7th, and they actually killed 14 or 15 people. But I also want to mention this. This says what weapon Ukraine might have used to hit an airfield in Crimea. So this happened on August 9th, and it says neither Moscow nor Kyiv admitted to multiple explosions in a key Russian airbase in occupied Crimea were caused by a Ukrainian attack. However, experts believe that it was a Ukrainian missile attack and that it was used either the US made ATACMS, or Ukrainian Neptune missiles. And if you do include the end date, then it becomes exactly 3 years after Epstein's death. Epstein and the number 3, the missile attack. So that could be definitely connected and related because, as I said, this is going to connect to multiple events. And I see this as a big possibility of part of their plans and coding IPET Goat 2 here for this event. And also, I want to point out that it says Russia even denied that none of their aircrafts suffered a loss, but looking from satellite view, it says at least 10 Russian planes were destroyed. And this says Russia suffered its biggest loss of an aircraft in a single day since the Second World War. As I said before, one scene can connect to multiple events, just like the release date of IPET Goat 2 was probably intended to connect to multiple events, such as the Valentine's Day shooting and the Uvalde shooting. As the classroom scene, as I pointed out, clearly connected with those shootings. 223 days after Bush's birthday, the Valentine's Day shooting. 322 days after Bush's birthday was the Uvalde shooting. And they were 223 weeks apart. And we clearly see the 322 connection with the Valentine's Day shooting in 2018 to IPET Goat 2's release date. And the reverse in parentheses, as I mentioned before, that would be putting the 214 over here and 624 over here. And a perfect 9/11 code, 9 years, 11 months, to the Uvalde shooting. Now here's what makes it even more fascinating and more interesting. Because when we look at the full moon in July of 2023, which would be the buck moon, look at the connection that we have to IPET Goat 2's release date. 11 years and 9 days apart. A perfect 9/11 code. Now we go to the August full moon, the Sturgeon moon of 2023. 11 years, 1 month, 9 days apart. Not only does it connect to the release date, I looked up the date the domain was created for IPET Goat 2 and it has a perfect 9/11 connection to that too. 911 weeks and 1 day. Created on February 13th, and August 1st is also the 213th day of the year. Another thing that I mentioned in my previous videos was if you replay this backwards, George Bush says the word August as he holds up one finger. And for a while now, I thought, wow, I wonder if this means August 1st. And it would make sense too, because the Sturgeon moon in the year 2023, as George Bush is a member of the 322 Skull and Bones Club, and that year is 322 backwards. Alright guys, I guess that's all I got for this video, and we're coming up to a key date though, August 20th. In another video I decoded what I believe could be the death of George Bush for August 20th. That's only 7 days away. We'll see. Alright, see you next time.